Hey guys, welcome back to Trekyards. According to my Tricorder readings, I am Captain Foley.
And how do I read? If you can detect through the Skype signature, through the internet, through satellites. Is it that powerful?
I can't. It's coming up that you're some kind of artificial intelligence or something. Only not that intelligent. Sorry.
But, to be fair, using an old Tricorder, and today we're going to be looking at the brand new Star Trek Picard old Tricorder. But it's newer than your one, but also old and possibly broken during the show. What do you think of its appearance from the show itself, from its scene?
It was amazing. Didn't see it at all. Just saw like a little glimpse of it in her hand. She didn't open it. She didn't. It would have been nice to see something. They spent the money to make this prop. Let's see it.
The way it plays on screen is that it's like a little box. You know what I mean? It doesn't show anything, which is sad because give them credit. And if you cut to the medical bag, Tricorder and a full hypo spray, exactly right. So they actually did accurately, points to them because Picard's better than Discovery's been. But in the ready room, which is their sort of behind the scenes sort of scripted with the featurette pieces, they actually did show the Tricorder concept sketch, and we actually get a look of it, and all the time, money and effort put into it can be talked about. Because they didn't bother showing us the reverse shot where she could have scanned him. And it had the bleep, bleep, bleep sound effect, so they had their chance. So now you're actually seeing it, Stuart. This is the new old Tricorder. What do you think?
I really like it. I like the design. It seems weird, though, that it just slides down and it doesn't fold out. Because it's wasting a lot of space they could use on the fold-out part. You know what I mean? She said it's an older Tricorder, and yeah, I get it's probably post-TNG. But still, this feels like something, honestly, that we would have saw maybe in Star Trek Beyond, on the Franklin. I think so anyway. I think it would have fit perfectly on the Franklin, just with that art design. So,
see, for me, it kind of looks... certainly art design, but I think the fact it's slightly grey... slightly yellowy grey concept art, that's kind of the Franklin colour palette, which I think helps. But to me, you could kind of potentially argue this as being a post Star Trek 6 pre-TNG one. It's kind of like the brickiness of the older ones, but now you've got the more advanced feel. But obviously, it's got the the delta of the newer one, but that could just be an iOS update, So it's very nebulous. Tricorders went weird, right? They were very consistent for a long time. You had the TNG Mark 1, as in the first one from TNG. You had the Voyager one, which I think is the best they ever made. You see the Endgame version, which is then in the future. So that is the direction they went, and you can see it's a sleek down, simpler, more organic version. You also Relativity's version, which actually have one, and even smaller, even sleeker. Then you had Nemesis, and for me it really broke the cool factor. It was out of left field, whatever. So they already changed the paradigm a bit. And I don't think we've seen a Tricorder in Picard except hollow things like... So the fact they changed the wheel and Nemesis means that what they've done after that, who on earth knows. But yeah, it definitely feels odd that there's so much wasted space. Even at the top, there's just... It feels less functional unless you take it as like a kind of phone whereby you got one screen. It does more because it's touchscreen, it changes, and then everything else is like a protective shield. But it does feel less advanced than the TNG stuff. To me, anyway.
A little bit, yeah. I do like the idea that it could be not as old as, let's say, the Franklin, but, yeah, fitting in that Lost era. This could be aboard the Enterprise C, the Ambassador class kind of deal. It does seem a little bit less advanced than TNG ones, and I agree with you there. I do like the slimness of it. I do like the overall design. I think it's actually really cool. I really want one, actually, because it is quite unique and neat. I think this is probably post TNG, like probably 10 years old kind of thing, when he got the La Serena. That's kind of the vibe that I think they're going for.
Even the scene is odd when she says, "Oh, this old style Tricorder." It's like, you still use tricorders, but the way she kind of says it as if, oh, the way you used to use tricorders a few years ago is quaint, even though it was only like 15, 20 years ago max, and they would have still used them. Endgame still used them. But
now they'd have a stick, and it'd have like a hologram that like Soji was using to determine the dates of things. That's what it would be now. So You have to use something physical? Oh my god. That's so primitive. Maybe a flip phone. Like just before the smartphone era, I'd be like, oh, look at this. It flips open. What?
That back of it feels to me like a Klingon communicator from Star Trek, I guess 3.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's why instantly it's like, this is clearly in that era. But would Rios really have 100-and-something-year-old tricorder with a new OS when you would think it'd be incredibly easy to get a new one?
Yeah. No, I don't think he would at all.
Well, especially as he used the newer ones in his own damn ship.
Now I can see it would be neat if this thing slides down. You got that nice display screen. It looks pretty cool actually. And then one of the emitters at the top is actually a hollow emitter, so you could display a hollow reading from the top.
I'm looking at this and I'm trying to think, how could you conceive as being post TNG, because it really doesn't feel that way. Although I like the two little dots at the top, and what I think would have been cool with this, and again we didn't see it actually live, so it's really hard to tell, is I guess that top silver thing is a button that slides it down. So you hold it, you slide it, you go kind of like the old Matrix style phones, click, go down. But wouldn't it be cool if the top one is the primary screen, which is a touch screen? Everything left of the little delta, that's just display whatever you want. But then you press a button and the entire bottom bit becomes a display. It's just not on the entire time, and they have both sides active as you would a normal tricorder, because how many times they really need to use both the flip out portion. I know a lot of it has like data access. I mean, if you're out on a planet or even away from your ship, you don't have access to that, so you don't need necessarily all the things. So instantly you got this cool sense of like, yeah, it's both sides of a screen. That would look really futuristic. And you can imagine a scanning and be like, oh, I need the advanced features, boop, and the bottom thing turns on, and it wouldn't be a hologram, it would be a screen. But that I could see, looking at that would feel more futuristic. Then it's like they've learned to not waste the power, waste the function only if you need it, and it's all built in. What do you think of that?
Yeah, no, I think that would be fantastic. Now you asked why I think this might be like post TNG, like because you said it didn't look like it to you, which I agree with. But I think they were implying that's what it was. It's probably like 10 years old. So, and I can actually see the smaller one from like the movies kind of evolving into something like this.
It is weird they didn't just use the Voyager tricorder or the Nemesis one. Like they know where they can get original props or replicas or Roddenberries. I'm sure people in their offices who are fans have a master replica, and since it's just such a small cameo, like it's a non-entity really, like the money and effort spent to make it. I don't know why she didn't just pull a real tricorder out, and then you're like, oh, it is old. Yeah, it's 25 years old. That's awesome. Especially if it was like even a TNG Playmates. Make that officially canon with the scaling. You could have. I don't know why they made a new one. That might be the next episode. Yeah, they could literally have pulled one of those out and be like, yeah, it is quaint. And Picard could be like, wow, I haven't seen that in 50 years.
But yeah, I really would like to. Hopefully they make this available in some form that you can buy. I'm sure people are already building them, but I definitely it's something that they want to make money on this show. I mean, it's obvious. Like they're in it for the money kind of thing.
That is the idea of making content, so you can make more content and continue it going. And
yeah. So they have perfect opportunities here for props and toys and stuff like that. And I just wish they would actually do that, even though the last couple series haven't had toys.
Well, they haven't done that since 09 Enterprise. Pretty much. Because 09 had the phase in the tricorder.
Oh, yeah.
Discovery
09 had the figures, too.
Yeah, Discovery didn't have anything at all for 2 seasons, as in props. I mean, they have all these props. I mean, yes, the Novos, but so few people actually got them. Based on how that company went, I don't even know if anybody managed to get the rifle, I don't know if anyone did.
Well, same thing with McFarlane Toys. They were going to make the Discovery phaser, and I had it pre-ordered, and then they just stopped it. And it's like, oh, man. Like, I don't know what the deal was with that, but...
See, supply is met with demand. There's obviously very little demand, whereas back in the TNG days, they made everything. You could even buy, that one red tricorder unit from like the movies that was awful. It was like a little stick. Buy this now, and it's like, why?
Yeah.
They said buy it. You said why? So yeah, it's but yeah, this is we like giving credit when it's due, and props are worth looking on Trekyards. And while I still maintain that the Voyager one was the absolute epitome of tricorder design. It's sleek and elegant and advanced, and it looks way more advanced than this one, in my opinion. All you'd have to do to modernize it was just sleek all the screens and the bezels. Like, make the bezels 1/5 as thick, make the screen almost the entire thing. Like, it wouldn't, like, almost nothing to reinvent that to modernize it. I think it's still the absolute epitome of. I'm glad I've got one because cannot be beat. It's remarkably good.
But how can it be so advanced? Because every scene we see it in, it's always got the exact same bar graph, and it's doing the same thing every time we see it on the show.
Just as how in TOS, the same 3 lights can flash to say red alert, yellow alert, blue alert, shields up, weapons up, torpedoes out, left tube is damaged, Stuart. People can read the information. They're trained. Weren't expecting a straightaway counter, were you, Stuart? I was on top of that.
That was good. That was good.
And what is good is this episode, and what is good is hopefully your support for this episode and this channel. If you want to support this us channel, then Patreon is a great way. We do need support every single month, especially in these harder months when there's not a lot of income, and your support does mean the world and allows us to keep doing this and give you something fun to watch in the meantime.
That's right. So you can help us many ways. There's links in the description below. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, click the notification icon with all, select all, make sure you get all of the notifications because we always have great content coming out, and we'd love you to be a part of that. So if you can help us, please do.
Join the channel too. That's a fun new system, and join us for lives. We do lives all the time with fun topics, fun discussions, fun things and bobs, and even sometimes guests. Sometimes.
That's right. So until next time, guys, I'm Captain Foley.
I'm Chronicons. Bye, guys.